Well, today's video is going to be something a little different. We're taking a road trip and you're coming with me. Hey folks, I hope you like road trips just as much as I do because today's video is slightly different. It's not going to be your typical Addicted to Gear review. We're taking a drive to see my good friend Charles at Electric Mojo Guitars. And Charles has been gracious enough to allow me to try out his brand new batch of Tone King Royalist amplifiers that he just got. I had an opportunity to try the amplifier about 6 weeks ago, but they sold out so quick that I missed it. I missed my window of opportunity. So today is a special day because I've been waiting so long, ever since I saw Greg Koch on YouTube playing through this amplifier. He made it sound so glorious that I immediately got major gas. Now, I already have quite a few Marshall-inspired amplifiers in the studio. As you can see here, I have a beautiful Italian-designed Brunetti Pleximan that does that Marshall tone in spades. I did a review of that amplifier, so you can see that on my channel. I also love the Marshall Studio Vintage, and I also reviewed that recently as well. Does the Marshall thing better than anyone else. It's a Marshall after all. And under that we have the Friedman Dirty Shirley, which is also a Marshall inspired amplifier, and Friedman really knocks things out of the park when it comes to putting his spin on that Marshall tone. So all of these amplifiers are fantastic, and they all do the Marshall thing. And the Tone King Royalist also supposedly does the Marshall thing, but it does it a little different. Now, if I'm going to be considering buying this amplifier, I want to take you guys along with me today because I want your opinion on it. I want you guys to tell me whether or not it's a worthwhile purchase. It's not cheap, and it probably will end up being one of the most expensive amplifiers I've ever purchased if it ticks all the boxes. Now, of course, if it's just doing the same thing as any one of these other amplifiers, there's no point. I don't want to have any redundancies. It wouldn't make any sense. So this is why you guys are coming along. I want to hear your opinion once we finally hear the sound samples. Now we're going to be running and gunning today. There's going to be nothing fancy. I'm going to be recording the sound either through an iPhone or through my camera video. So I'm not going to have any fancy mics or anything like that. So you're going to be hearing what I hear in the room. Hopefully that's enough to make an educated guess as to whether or not the amplifier does what it's supposed to do. Now, before we get going, I gotta choose a guitar, so help me decide what to take. So here are the top 3 contenders for today's sound test on the Royalist. I don't know which one I should choose. It's always a difficult decision. On the left-hand side here, we have the Tokai, which is one of my favorite guitars of all time. Always a go-to whenever I have anything to test out, so maybe take that one. Number 2 here is a very sexy looking SG that I picked up recently. Also an amazing guitar. Sounds fantastic in my opinion. And then finally here we also have my sweet, sweet Gibson Les Paul, which is also a very, very nice guitar. How do we decide? Flip a coin. Whew. Let's do this. The old-fashioned way. My mother and your mother were washing the clothes. My mother punched your mother right in the nose. What color was the blood? I'm gonna say blue. B-L-U-E. So I guess we're gonna have to take this one. Yeah, let's grab that one. nice to be able to balance all of the volume levels on it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a little bit of plate. Sounds really good, even going through the front of the amplifier with the pedals. We're a little bit concerned with the having to go through the front. Comes through really nicely. Pedals or Well, I'm back in the studio. I had a fantastic time playing the Tone King Royalist. I want to give Charles a big shout out. He was a real sweetheart for allowing me to go there and play the amplifier. You know, after hours, I had the place to myself and we were just shooting the breeze and playing the amplifier. And what you heard basically is just scratching the surface. There's so many tones that can be had out of that amplifier. And you know, the beginning portion was just amplifier, no pedals, no effects, and it just sounded glorious. It is an amazing, clean platform. A lot of people might assume because it's Marshall inspired that it has a lot of grit and drive. It does, but you have to crank that out of it at higher volumes because it doesn't have a master volume. So the entire thing is really all about volume. And thankfully it has the attenuators, which will allow you to crank it and keep things manageable at the same time. But overall, a really great sounding amplifier. If you're looking for an amplifier that is a great platform for pushing the sound with pedals, especially if you have some really nice pedals, that one will definitely do it for you. It'll pump out whatever you pump in, really. And if you have some really nice pedals, you know, the tones that come out of that amplifier really accentuate the quality of your guitar and your pedals in the signal chain. It's not going to mask anything. It's very, very transparent in that regard. And sounds warm if you want it to, sounds bitey if you want it to as well. And you can push it with pretty much anything by putting the pedals in front. There's no effects loop. And the tail end of the clips that you were hearing, I was pushing the amplifier a little bit with some pedals, little overdrive pedals. And at one point, I just kicked in a TC Electronic reverb and I had it on the plate reverb. And at the very, very end, you'll hear a little bit of delay from a very inexpensive NuX delay pedal. But you know, overall the amplifier is amazing in terms of the response that it gives you. Throw anything at it and it handles it extremely well. So I'm gonna have to think about it, guys. I'm gonna have to think about this long and hard. It is an expensive amplifier for sure, but it would definitely elevate anybody's collection if you have the cash. So I want to hear what you guys think in terms of the little sound clips. I know it was sort of down and dirty, you know, run and gun type thing. It wasn't a big Hollywood production type recording, but I think you can get the gist of what you can coax out of that amplifier. So Let me hear your thoughts. Post them down below. I'll be interested in continuing this conversation with you guys in the comments. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. We'll have plenty of other road trips hopefully planned further down the road. But for now, keep rocking, stay tuned, and enjoy your gear. I'll be back with more.